Oh, so this is what it looks like to be in a coma. Well, when is my dreams gonna start? Okay, nothing's happening. But what about all of those shows on TV and movies and games and stuff where people are in a coma and they have dreams? Fascinating, fun dreams where they control everything. I guess that's not gonna happen for me. Is this what it's really like to be in a coma? Just nothing? What if it really is this way and people don't want other people to feel bad about them, so they tell them that they dreamed something? So, I guess I'm just gonna be stuck here. Let me see. What do I remember? Oh, that's right. I was at work in my office and it was time to go. So I packed up all my things, but right before I left, one of my friends came in and told me the road to my house had construction, and then he just left. So I was like, okay. And I guess I'm just gonna have to go that way to my house and avoid the construction. And I usually ride the bus, I usually take a cab, but it's turning spring, so I'll walk. And I guess walking will help me avoid the construction. And so I finished packing up my things and I left my office room, went down to the break room, grabbed a donut and a coffee, went out the door, and began my journey. And so the first thing I remember when leaving the building is there was all this traffic. And there was a police officer in the road directing it. For some reason, there was one road he would not point at, which I was going that way. That's the way I have to go. And so I got on the crosswalk and started my jog to get across before the light changed. That's always something quick I had to do. Traffic. So the policeman, he stopped me and said, "Are you sure you want to go that way?" And I said, "This way's my home." And he said, "All right, be careful." And I said, "Okay, I usually am." And he went back to work, pointing and directing and whistling. And I went on. And there was the construction site sooner than I really expected. It was big. It looked like they were building something or starting something. They weren't really building anything just yet. And there was a crane. It was a short crane. They really only have one small floor built. And so I was really avoiding as much as I can. And on that crane was they were carrying over some bricks. I guess they decided that they were going to finish one floor after another. And I really don't understand that, but that's what they were doing. And the crane swept over my head, far up. I was glad that that didn't hit me. And I was walking through, and the crane man said, "Hey, you're not allowed here." And I was like, "I'm just passing through." And he said, "You need to pass through quicker." And I was like, "Okay." And I guess he wasn't really paying attention that much because he missed the building and had to go back really quick. And so when he went back, I heard like a shuffle of bricks way up high, really far up. And then another construction man that was looking up seen a brick falling. And he looked down at me and he said, "Hey, look out." And that's the last thing I remember. So here I am in this darkness, just waiting for something to happen. I remember something. Another time I had a moment like this. I was a young kid, and it was at the playground at my school. I was going to go swing because that's what all the little kids did. And it was a nice sunny day. I heard the birds. I heard all the kids playing. It sounded like a really good day. And I was really wanting to swing. So when we went outside to the playground. I ran as fast as I could to the swings, and I got the first one. There were two swing sets, side by side. Each swing set had three swings. The plastic kind with the covers over the chains. And I was swinging. I got really, really high. And all of a sudden, the left chain on the very top cracked and broke. And I fell down and I hit my head on something. I don't remember what it was. But back then, it was just like a minute or two. It wasn't this long. I don't know how long I've been here, but the doctor comes in and I can hear him. And he says, "Another day has passed." And he said that like how many times? How many times? This is like the fifth time he said that. 5 days. And there's also something strange. When I try to wake up, I hear another voice. Like, if I'm telling myself, wake up, you gotta wake up, you gotta wake up, I hear another voice. And it doesn't sound like mine. And this other voice is quiet, like it's off in the far, far distance. But it can't be, because there isn't any distance here, there's nothing here. How could a voice be coming from somewhere where there's nowhere? But, anyways, there's a voice that tells me something. I can't quite hear what it says, but for some reason, I stop wanting to wake up. I don't think the voice is telling me to stay asleep. It's just, I want to know who it is. I want to know what it is. And it's very strange. It's very strange that there's another person here. So it's been days, and I'm still asleep. And I don't know what to do now. Well, that's my a coma story. I don't know how you're hearing this, but this is how I am, and this is what things are. Maybe one day science will reach a point to where someone can record what happens in people's dreams. Maybe that science is today. Maybe that's how you're hearing this. So if you are hearing this, just keep shaking me.